The United States found itself in the midst of a presidential election that would be remembered for generations. On one side stood Donald Trump, determined to reclaim the presidency with a renewed America First agenda. On the other was Kamala Harris, the current vice president, aiming to make history as the first female president with her platform of unity and progress. The race was fierce, and the nation was captivated as both candidates presented distinct plans that promised to shape the future of the country. Trump's campaign. Strength and sovereignty. Trump's campaign was fueled by promises to reignite economic growth, tighten immigration policies, and reinforce America's global standing. His plan included tax cuts aimed at stimulating job creation and boosting the domestic economy. He advocated for a strong military, secure borders, and trade policies that favored American manufacturers and workers. Trump emphasized his belief in protecting American values and traditions, drawing support from those who felt disconnected from modern political trends. At rallies, Trump spoke passionately about revitalizing industries that had suffered over the years and reducing regulations to allow businesses to thrive. His supporters viewed him as a champion of national pride and economic independence, eager to bring back the prosperity they associated with his previous term. Harris's vision, unity and progress. Kamala Harris approached the election with a vision of inclusivity and forward-thinking policies. Her campaign promised to expand healthcare access, create more affordable housing, and address climate change through investments in renewable energy. Harris emphasized education reform, aiming to improve resources for public schools and make college more affordable. Her speeches carried a message of hope and resilience, focusing on rebuilding trust in government and fostering an environment where all Americans could succeed. Harris's platform also focused heavily on social justice, pushing for criminal justice reform and advocating for equal rights across communities. Her supporters admired her dedication to representing a more diverse and equitable future, believing she could bridge divides and heal national wounds. The election battle. The campaign trail was marked by fiery debates and rallies that showcased the clear divide between the candidates' visions. Trump highlighted Harris's policies as overly ambitious, warning that they could lead to increased taxes and government overreach. Harris countered by portraying Trump's policies as outdated and isolating, arguing that America needed to look ahead to compete in an interconnected world. As Election Day approached, the race tightened. Polls showed that the nation was split nearly down the middle. Swing states became the battlegrounds, where both Trump and Harris poured their energy and resources. The country watched in anticipation as results started to come in, revealing a nail-bitingly close race. A nation awaits with each state called. The margin between Trump and Harris grew slimmer. The candidates were neck and neck, with neither side able to claim a decisive lead. Voter turnout reached record highs, reflecting the deep investment Americans had in the outcome. The battle continued late into the night, with states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Arizona holding the power to tip the balance. The final count was so close that it triggered recounts and legal challenges, extending the election saga for days. Supporters of both candidates waited anxiously, knowing that the result would shape the nation's direction for years to come. The road ahead, regardless of who emerged victorious, the election had made one thing clear: the United States was at a crossroads. The next president, whether it was Trump returning with a promise of fortitude or Harris stepping into history with a vision of unity, would need to find a way to. The story of this election was not just about victory. It was about how the chosen leader would manage to unite a nation that remained deeply passionate, divided. As the recounts were completed and the legal battles resolved, the final results of the election were announced. Kamala Harris narrowly emerged as the winner, claiming victory with a heartfelt speech that acknowledged the closeness of the race and the voices of millions who had chosen a different path. Yet, she stood firm in her commitment to lead all Americans, promising to respect and work for every citizen, no matter their political affiliation. A message of unity. Harris began her presidency by extending an olive branch to her opponent. In her inaugural speech, she spoke directly to Trump supporters, assuring them that their voices were heard and their concerns respected. This nation is built on the strength of our diversity, but it thrives on the power of unity. We may have different visions, but we all seek a brighter future for our children, safer communities, and a stronger economy, she declared. In a move that surprised many, Donald Trump, acknowledging the will of the people, issued a statement that underscored his dedication to America. While this outcome was not what we aimed for, I remain committed to serving this great nation in any way I can. We are all Americans, united by a common goal. A shared commitment to the American people. Both Harris and Trump made it clear that they were ready to work for the benefit of the nation. Harris reached out across the aisle, involving bipartisan efforts in her first initiatives. She invited seasoned leaders, including former presidents and influential figures from various backgrounds, to discuss policies that would benefit all Americans. Trump, in turn, focused on empowering American communities through his media network and grassroots organizations. He championed economic programs that supported small businesses and job growth, reinforcing his belief in the entrepreneurial spirit of the American people. His continued influence encouraged civic engagement, reminding Americans of their power in a democracy. Building a stronger nation together. As Harris's administration took steps to address climate change, healthcare, and education, Trump's network emphasized economic strength and national security. Both leaders, despite their different platforms, found common ground in their shared love for the country and its people. Moments of collaboration emerged, surprising critics and delighting those who believed in unity.